thank you so much for joining in and welcome to another Thursday webinar. I'm very excited for today's session because we are going to start something new. We are going to start a series on GTM engineering. Thanks to all the requests that we have been getting about GTM engineering. So we thought, why don't we go ahead and answer some of the questions that we can answer when it comes to GTM engineering, all right? So just a little input here. When we talk about GTM engineering and the coming weeks, we are going to talk more about this subject. We are particularly going to come from the angle of B2B growth. So I sincerely believe now that GTM engineering is a generic term, okay, and it can be applied to any industry, any use case, any type of company. So when we are going to talk about GTM engineering, it is primarily for B2B companies and for B2B marketing and growth strategies, right? So if you are in B2B, I think you are in a great place. Even if you're not in B2B, if you're interested in this particular subject, I think you are in the right place. There is a lot that we are going to unpack today. Today's session is going to be more of a Q&A session where there will be questions and answers. We will do more deep dive in the coming days. I'm hoping that we'll have at least 3-part series on what is GTM engineering when it comes to B2B growth. All right. I hope we are all ready. Now let's get started. Okay. For everybody who is not aware of me, who is just joining in, my name is Ritesh Osta. I'm a founder of a company called Insightstap. Insightstap is a B2B growth studio, and we heavily work on GTM engineering and AI apps development. On top of that, I'm also one of the Fiverr top-rated Fiverr Pro freelancer, and I have been doing it for the last 8 years. So if you want to check out my profile, go to my LinkedIn page, go to my Fiverr page, and you will get a lot of information. Now, with that, let's get started. What is GTM engineering? The Q&A session. Okay. So before we talk about what GTM engineering is, we will talk about why GTM engineering. Okay, why this particular phase has suddenly become so viral and everybody is talking about it. Yeah. So even it took me by surprise in terms of how much people are talking about this particular phase, GTM engineering, and GTM stands for go-to-market. Now, these terms have been there since forever. Go-to-market strategy, go-to-market go-to-market plans, campaigns. These are the terms that we as a B2B marketer, as a product marketer, we have been using it since forever. But now what has happened is there's this go-to-market and then there's this engineering. They have come down together, right? And this is something, and there's something beautiful that has been created. And that is what GTM engineering is all about. Okay. Now, before we talk about the GTM engineering, what it is, let's talk about why GTM engineering. Okay, why B2B teams needs GTM engineering and not just GTM campaigns. So the first input is B2B teams have tools but not systems. More and more B2B teams have siloed, segregated tools that they are using. The marketing teams is using a bunch of tools. The sales team is using a bunch of tools. The data team is using a bunch of tools. The engineering team is using a bunch of tools. The product team is having its own stuff. So with time, more and more companies have understood that there are systems within their company and there are different teams working with those systems and they are siloed. They are not working together, right? So even though the teams are working with tools, they are not working with like one system. Okay, the tools are not integrated, the processes are not integrated. So they have understood this challenge, and more companies are now understanding this challenge. And now that is where they are moving towards GTM engineering. The other is processes, the playbooks. The marketing is running another process, sales is running another process. They are fragmented, they are siloed, they don't talk to each other. They are just coming on a weekly or a monthly meet where they are just blaming each other, for the failures or the results. So that is what has been going on in the B2B enterprise systems for a very long time. Okay, I think more and more companies have now started realizing it that it cannot work like this. Okay, data is fragmented, so data is being now across many different systems. Data is there in the CRM, the CDPs, the data warehouses, the product analytics, the web analytics. I mean, data is everywhere, and people are working within their data. They don't know what's going on with the other systems' data. So the data is fragmented, and the signal are being missed. Right, the important signals and inputs are being missed by different teams. And growth needs engineering, not guesswork, right? So now we are moving from the campaign-based approach to, a personalized based approach. So more and more companies have now started to realize that, they cannot just guess a campaign, run a campaign, and then, just keep doing it. They need to engineer something more strategic. So now the strategy is playing more important role in today's world, right? Uh, Earlier, things were easy, right? There was, you run a large scale Google ads, and most of the people are searching for things on Google, and you are coming on top, and you're getting the leads, and you are succeeding, and you don't have to worry about too many other things. That is how things were for a long time, thanks to the dominance of Google in the market. But that dominance, especially in terms of search ads, is changing very rapidly. Now people are not just searching; they are also, asking, questioning. They are also going to social media, forums, ChatGPT, Gemini. Now people have so many different options. Okay, I can go to Grok and I can ask. I can go to Gemini. I can ask. I can go to ChatGPT. I can ask. I can go to social media. I can ask. I can go to Quora, Reddit. I mean, I don't have to go to Google to ask anymore. Earlier, almost 80% of the world's population was just Googling things, right? But now things are changing fast. And with that, I think a lot of B2B teams needs to adapt really fast. Okay, so that is some of the reasons as to why we need to approach with a systems thinking. Okay, so GTM engineering in many ways is a strategy thinking, it's a systems thinking. Now you cannot just think on, from the campaigns point of view or from the sales point of view. You have to think like a whole system. And that is, I think, the number one reason as to why GTM engineering matters today in 2025 more than ever before. Okay. So sales, marketing, ops, all working separately. And hard work is not equal to growth. Sync system is equal to growth. Okay. I think it's a beautiful quote here. Just, running campaigns after campaigns, just working really hard is not the right approach anymore. Okay, I'm not saying that don't work hard. Please do work hard. But at the same time, you need to have a sync system where all your teams, sales, marketing, ops, product, all of them, they need to work together, right? So there needs to be a strategy behind whatever you're doing more than ever before. Okay, all right. Now, so we will start with the questions. The question number one. What is exactly is GTM engineering? Okay. So GTM engineering means building scalable automated signal-led system that unify data, ads, automation, and revenue. Now, when I say that, I purely mean from the B2B enterprise context, but this can be expanded into other industries and small businesses as well. So for this particular webinar and for the upcoming webinars, I'm going to primarily talk from the B2B and enterprise point of view, but the same principles applies even if you're a small business or a startup, right? So GTM engineering means creating a scalable, automated, signal-led system. So there should be a system, and that system will have the data architecture, it will have the system integration, it will have the AI automation, it will have the campaigns, the ad campaigns, it will have the CRM integrated, it will have the data warehousing integrated. So the marketing team, the sales team, the product team, the data team, all the systems are now integrated. Okay, if you can create an integrated system which is scalable, and there needs to be a strategy behind it. The strategy is not campaign based only, it is signal based. Okay, that means you will always listen to the signals. okay, what's really going on? If there is something going on with the sales team, marketing needs to be aware of it. If there is something going on with the product data, that both marketing and sales team needs to be aware of it, and like so on. But how are you going to create a system which is real time, right? Because the data is getting updated in different system all the time. So it needs to be integrated. Okay, there needs to be a data architecture, there needs to be a system integration, there needs to be account-based ABM orchestration, campaign-based, and then there needs to be an AI automation layer. On top of that, you can run, the campaigns and the signal-led outreach and like so on. So now we have to think in terms of layer. Okay, there needs to be horizontal layers, and then there needs to be vertical in terms of use cases. Okay, that is how you need to think, and it needs to be a systems thinking. Many people, they have a lot of misconception about GTM engineering, and they think GTM engineering means somebody who knows clay, or somebody who can build an AI agent, or somebody who is just building some N8N workflows. No, that is not GTM engineering. I mean, it is part of GTM engineering, but that is just part of GTM engineering. GTM engineering is systems thinking. Okay, GTM engineering means you bring the data team, you bring the engineering team, you bring the sales team, you bring the ops team, you bring the marketing team, you bring the analytics team, you bring all the systems, integrate the data, and create a system by which you can scale your campaigns using scalable, automated, and signal-led architecture. Okay, the idea is to unify the data, the ads, the automation, and the revenue. All of this needs to be unified. Okay, that is what GTM engineering is all about. Okay, so if you see from the visual point of view, so in today's world, always look for signals and then try to automate as much as possible, right? And everything needs to be integrated. The ads, the CRM, the revenue ops, okay? Everything needs to be done, and there needs to be a loop around it. There needs to be a feedback loop around it. And that is what GTM engineering is, okay, from the broader point of view. Okay. There can be specific use cases, there can be a bunch of tools you can use, but clay is not GTM engineering. If you know clay, it's good, it's part of the whole ecosystem. But if you meet somebody who just knows clay, and if he says that he is a GTM engineer, then the stuff that he's trying to say, he or she is trying to say, is that they can be part of your GTM engineering team. Okay, if somebody just who knows how to use N8N and clay, they can call themselves obviously GTM engineer, but they alone cannot solve all the problems if you are a large enterprise. Okay, I hope I was able to put the point across. You have to put together entire team, and it starts from the data. Okay, the data is not structured. The data architecture is not structured, then possibly it's not the right time to go ahead and start jumping into things. Okay, we will talk more on that in the coming days, on how to structure, how to create a data architecture before we move on to the next steps. All right. Okay. So the next question, how is GTM engineering different from marketing ops? Okay. I have been part of marketing ops myself. I have been a marketing manager. I have been a product marketing manager. I have worked with companies full-time, part-time with these roles in the past. So marketing ops is all about execution, right? It's like a project management, correct? It's all about execution. So if you have a marketing manager or a marketing ops manager, or if you have a product marketing manager, they are possibly working on the execution side of it, okay, getting things done, right? Then there is sales ops, right? Which is basically sales operations manager, whose primary job is to enable the sales people or the BDM and the BDRs to perform better, correct? Taking care of the operations, right? Connecting the dots. Good. The GTM engineering takes the marketing ops, the sales ops, then it does the integration, it does the automation, it also integrates the data. in the entire equation, okay, and transform into one growth engine, okay. It transform everything into one big engine. And when I use the term GTM engineering here, I'm purely talking from the B2B marketing and sales point of view. GTM engineering can be used for B2B or any other company's operations as well, okay. But since we deal with the subject of B2B sales, B2B marketing, I'm going to keep the GTM engine term within the context of marketing and sales, right? Having said that, GTM engineering is now being used for revenue ops, for operations, for customer service, and for many different use cases. So the idea is, it's not just, GTM engineers are the bridge between the marketing ops and the sales ops and the data ops team in many ways, okay? So they are the ones actually connecting the dots, right? From the technical point of view. They might use Clay, they might use Anytech, they might use custom applications to do that, so this is where the engineers also come into the picture, and this is where the term engineering has come in, right? Because you do need some level of, engineering skills, even if it is low code or no code, you still need that, right? Because you've got to connect the dots. And we work with large enterprises where things are rather complex, so we use engineers, so, I hope it makes sense now. All right, so question number 3, what problems does GTM engineering solve? I would say that GTM engineering solves two major problems. One is that strategy problem, and the other is the technical problem. Okay, so you've got to have the strategy, and then you need to have technical problems that needs to be solved. Right. The first problem that GTM engineering solves is the disconnected system. The CRM, the CDPs, the data warehouses, the product analytics, the web analytics data, all of that. Right. It creates one synced system. Okay, the data is being shared, it is being enriched, it is updated. Right. For example, if a lead came in, if a lead came into the CRM system like Salesforce, and then the same lead, the same person went to the product, your product, and then did a free sign up, and that data has gone into the data warehouse, right, or the product analytics data, or mix panel, or whatever you're using, right? So now the same person is doing something on the product. The same person is basically booking a demo call with the sales team. Okay, now these two are siloed data, right? But if you can connect these together, okay, then the sales team and the product team can see, okay, fine, you know what, this person is doing this. They have just done the product sign up for a free trial, and this person is checking all these features. At the same time, this person has also booked the time. Now, contextually, your sales team will be much more equipped to handle this particular lead, as compared to just your sales team just going on a call with no idea about what the person needs or wants, right? So once you connect the dots, then the strategy comes in, and the use cases comes in. What I just told you is a use case, right? And there can be unlimited effective use cases that you can build based on your own business scenarios. So the technical problem that GTM engineering solves is connecting the disconnected system, connecting the outreach and the personalization, on how to do more and more personalization. For example, if the sales team is sending an email sequence, they have more context that this person has already done a product sign up, a product trial, and they have booked a demo, and they have checked out these features. So these information can help feed better personalization when it comes to outreach, right? And you can also use automation, to do outreach in mass, or run ads, with more personalization, and like so on. It solves the problem of slow funnel velocity, right? So if there is a sales velocity which is slower, it can make it faster. It can solve the problem of wasted ad spend, correct? Because it connect the dots. You have more context. When you run ads, you will have better context, better personalization, better ad copy, better targeting. So you will less You will waste less amount of money on ads, and poor account prioritization. So you will know, from the ABM point of view, which account is more important, which account is more engaging as compared to other accounts. So even from the prioritization point of view, it's going to help you. Okay? So these are the technical problems that GTM engineering solves. Once you solve the technical problem, you got to come up with a strategic use cases, right, to go to the next level. Okay, so this is what we solve in terms of technical problem. Okay, disconnected, slow, waste connected, fast, and efficient. How does GTM engineering power ABM 2.0? Okay, and now we move in from GTM engineering to ABM, account-based marketing. Okay, and GTM engineering is playing a very important role in ABM, right? Account-based marketing. So I started my career in ABM like in 2013, 14. It's been 10, 12 years now. And a lot of stuff used to be done manually, right? Scraping, updating, sending outreach email, in market accounts, finding the in market accounts, going to the profiles of the people, checking which colleges they went, what kind of posts they are doing, what is the background, what kind of product launches is happening, what is the company annual report. I mean, you can understand the amount of work that used to go to do the prospecting and research on those in-market accounts, right? And there used to be a huge BDR and the SDR team who used to work, right, with virtual assistants, just finding out things, right, to stay on top. Okay, in terms of the game of understanding the need in the market, right? And we are talking about large accounts, accounts with 100,000 employees, and maybe 50 decision maker. Imagine the amount of work that goes in, following every one of them, checking what's going on, trying to be on top of the game. So a lot of stuff used to be done manually with virtual assistants and sales teams. A lot of stuff can be now automated using AI agent, right? So, you can build an AI agent to find out the decision makers' history, the LinkedIn post, right? Their positions, the change of jobs, right? The new product launches. Okay, what kind of behaviors they are doing, whether they are visiting your website, your app, stuff like that. So the possibilities are humongous, and you can automate a lot of stuff. That means your SDR team and your sales team will spend more time, talking to the customer rather than doing the back-end job, right? So I sincerely feel that GTM engineering is going to power the ABM more than ever before. And we have come up with a term called ABM 2.0, where we talk about how GTM engineering is going to affect change the dynamics when it comes to ABM. And the term we have come up with is called ABM 2.0. So ABM 2.0 is signal first account targeting, right? So instead of just taking the top 100 accounts and then just sending them emails to every one of them, why not we track the signals? Okay, take the top 100 accounts, see what they are doing. Okay, what kind of product they are launching, whether they are coming to your website, whether they are posting a certain type of jobs, whether they are adopting certain technology like Salesforce. So there are so many signals that are being given out. You can now trace those signals using AI and automation, right? You can build AI agents around it. Trace those signals and push those data. Okay, and then based on the data, you can enrich those data. You can work on that, right? So you can find the intent detection, the signal detection. You can do the segmentation. You can enrich the data, and you can activate ads. You can activate outreach. That means you run ads only specific to those people based on their needs. For example, they have just launched a new warehouse and they are hiring a lot of people for that particular warehouse, and you are a warehouse service company, or you provide products specific to warehouse. Then you can reach out saying, hey, you know what, looks like you have just taken a new warehouse, you're hiring a lot of people, we provide this kind of services and we also have this kind of product. Why don't we go ahead and talk? I'm talking about this kind of stuff. Earlier, I mean, imagine there are thousands of companies, warehouse companies, right, in America or Canada or wherever. and you have to track each and every one of them. Maybe you'll have to put up a bunch of virtual assistants just to do this job, but now you can just create a bunch of AI agents which can do this job in no time, and it can find the intent in the signal, and you can pull the data. They can update your systems, the GTM system, and then your SDR team and your business development team can do the reach out. They can even run ads for that matter, okay, to those companies at the time of the need. That is what GTM 2.0 is all about, and this is where the ABM 2.0 is all about, and this is where the GTM engineering is playing a super important role. Okay, that means the flow is intent, identify, segment, activate, and measure, right? Okay. All right. Now, question number 5. What role do signals play? Okay, that's a very important question. Signal, when we use the term signal, our context is real buyer's intent. Okay, that's what our context is from the B2B growth context. What is the buyer intent? Okay, if they are visiting your website, possibly there is an intent. If they're checking out pricing page, there is a bigger intent, right? If they are visiting your G2 profile, they are doing G2 profile research, there is an intent. If they're doing tech installs, for example, if they have just taken a Salesforce, that's an intent, correct? That means they might need Salesforce services. If they're doing job changes or they're doing a lot of hiring, there is an intent. If they're doing a lot of hiring, then possibly, they are launching a new product or a service, or they need some, help in terms of certain processes that they are doing. Funding events, if they have got a funding, M&A acquisition, that's a signal. Social engagement is also a signal, right? They are doing social engagement around certain topic, and you are interested in that particular topic. So that's an intent for you. So the signals can be many. These are just some of them. So signal plays a very important role, okay, on how we do GTM engineering. And based on the signal, as I said, if you go back, first you find out the intent of the signals, identify those signals, push the data, create segments, and then activate. Activate means run ads, run outreach, run LinkedIn outreach, run email outreach, give them a call, whatever you mean in your context, being activated, and then measure. See what signals work and what signal is not working. That's the game when it comes to ABM 2.0 and the GTM engineering. And this is the role of signals, playing into the game. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. We will keep it to this. We will continue on the sessions in the part 2 next week. Okay, and we'll follow some more questions out there. Let me know if you have any questions. If you go into the comment sections, please write down what more questions that you want. Okay, we'll be very happy to answer more and more questions. We are going to continue with this series for the next few weeks. Okay, and I think we are all going to enjoy this, right? So if you want to connect to us, please connect to us at Insightstap.com. Book a free consultation. Reach out to me on Fiverr or LinkedIn. We have put up a lot of GTM blueprints together, so just go to our website and download them. Okay, we are building a lot of AI agents and automations. So we'll keep you informed on that. Just our slogan is grow your B2B sales like an e-commerce engine, and that's our goal is. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you in the next one.